take on taxes. Talking about specifically those who want to either reduce it or abolish it, that would be the Austrian school of economics.
The Austrian school are like young Earth creationists. To put them up like people is a very stupid idea. Yeah, the Austrians are economists whilst are economists despite Austrians are economists despite being Austrian, not because they are. What Vosh talking about, yeah. What Vosh is talking about is that you can't understand economics and think that there's taxes like in the way you won't be able to understand biology and be a young Earth creationist. There are probably people who have PhDs in biology that are young Earth creationists, but like if somebody said that you can't be a young Earth creationist and a biologist, and you said, well, actually, these people are young Earth creationists, so they'll punch you because that'd be annoying. Anyway.
And those who want to reduce it would be usually the Cato Institute and often the Chicago School of Economics. What Vush is probably referring to would be academic consensus Keynesian economics, and even then they just kind of ignore the problem of taxation, or they'll give arguments for why it's a good thing. But everybody has some kind of problem to solve when it comes to economics and taxes. So I guess Vush is just pretending the Austrian school doesn't exist, because it's not more academic.
Yeah, again, he's saying in the same way I would say that Austrians are not economics. I would say that people that I would say that young Earth creationists are not biologists. They might technically be biologists, but you can't understand biology and be a young Earth creationist. I have the same old story with these Austrian economists. You have them. They already believed in the free markets before they were economists. They already believed in the magic of free markets before they learned any economics. So, yeah.
Consensus? Okay, well, need I remind you that neither is Marxian economics.
Vosh doesn't really talk that much about Marxian economics. His main reason that he's a socialist is because of sociology. That's why it's sociology. He has very large disagreements with Marxist economics. In fairness, there are many socialists that are not even Marxists. I think, for example, learning economics is a Keynesian, even though, yes, he is a socialist. He believes in market socialism, even though, yes, he is.
So if Vush wants to play this card and makes this argument, it could just as easily be used against him if he pushes that to its logical conclusions. And that's just another one of the very many reasons why my academic consensus is rarely a productive argument.
He's talking about, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about masks. He's talking about the COVID vaccine. Come on. I know it's concerns my academic resources. Nobody says that in community unless you're talking about the scientific consensus on either trans people or vaccines. He's talking about trans people. I knew it. These people are super predictable. God.
That's just what people in the ivory tower believe. It does not encompass all of economics at all.
This guy believes in Austrian. God.
Anywhere close. Which again, Vush as a socialist knows this. So he's
even as a socialist, he doesn't really think about Marx. His main reasons he's a socialist is because of sociological reasons. Because he's a sociologist, he doesn't ever talk about I know the declining rate of profits. I know he did once, but you know what I mean. Come on, use a brain cell. Come on.
He's once again using an argument that could just as easily be used against himself.
He's not saying that because that it's not. He's saying that. It's not really an argument. Yeah, the clip he said that you can't be a social economist and believe in low taxes. He's not making an argument. He's just doing a jab, to be fair. But jab to be fair, he's not. He's. If I said you can't be an economist and be young Earth creationist, and they said, well, actually, 2 million years ago, young Earth creationist was the majority. You're not gonna. That makes no sense.
But anyways, now for the absolute worst argument against praxeology you've ever seen. Get ready.
You no longer believe in economy. You believe in, like, praxeology or some kind of obscure, like, purely hype. Like, it's not a real thing. Again, it's not real. It's made up. I always feel silly. Like, the fact...
That's not an argument against praxeology. Mentis. Mentis, if you're watching this, there's an argument praxeology. He just named one thing. That he's not. He didn't even say that praxeology is wrong. He just said you believe in praxeology or some other blah blah blah. He's not. He's gonna go on a rant about praxeology, and it's gonna be wrong, and I'm gonna debunk it. Come on. Like if you read like a basic Wikipedia article, you can debunk most Austrian arguments like that because that's dumb. They're like again young creationists. Come on.
Have better social grounding for their arguments than the
True. Yeah.
libertarians do.
Or did you see that? Praxeology isn't true because it isn't real. Alright.
This is what happens when you try and make everything into an argument. He didn't even say any argument, and he's trying. And Mentis is trying, try and make it. Obviously, in an argument that would make sense because he's not trying to make an argument. God, you think, Mentis, think.
So, for those of you who do not know, praxeology comes from the economist Ludwig von Mises. It's basically a theory that man acts, that men have purposeful behavior in order.
Yeah, it also says because of that people that you use your logic to interfere with logic. So therefore, that economic theory cannot be disproven by observation, aka that if and that's why Austrians love it so much. AKA it means that praxeology says because people act on ideas, that humans are purposeful. Why use arguments to construct arguments, not reality to construct not ideas. So therefore, in economics, you don't need to use ideas. So fun fact, by Mentis, you including sources, you're going against praxeology. For funny, like, I'm not saying that praxeology is wrong. I'm just saying Mentis' idea of praxeology is wrong. Oh, to make sure I watched this before, so I know what he's gonna say later. So I'm just gonna let it play to show I'm not misrepresenting him. Sorry.
To achieve an intended goal. In other words, say you have the intended goal of drinking some water. So what do? Well, you decide to get up and go to the water fountain and refill your water bottle or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. He's leaving out the massive part about that. Wait a minute. Sorry. Makes it sound like a show book out.